Good evening all and welcome to another video on All How the Ale. It's Saturday night, which means it's craft beer night, and the beer we're going for tonight hails from the USA. It's from Hoppin Frog. It's this one. It is Barrel Aged Boris. And Barrel Aged Boris is an oatmeal imperial stout aged in whiskey barrels. It's a US pint can, bit on the small side, but it's 11.5% ABV, so I think that kind of more than makes up for it really. Which works out to about 5.4 units or thereabouts. So it's a big one for me. Yeah, been itching to try this one since it arrived a little while ago, but yeah, been saving it. So it says on the side of the can that it's a delicious bourbon barrel-aged version of our bodacious oatmeal Russian Imperial Stout, Boris. Which is complemented by a wonderful whiskey and oak character. A robust hop presence adds a refreshing balance. Now, Hoppin Frog, made in collaboration with Lervig, the beer that I had for my 40th birthday, and that was Sippin Into Darkness. That was incredible, and I only hope that Boris is somewhere near as good as that. So without further ado, let's get it out into a glass and see what we think. So we're going to pour into my favourite stout glasses, which are my Titanic goblets. And the pour is engine oil. Thick. Gloopy. We're not going to go nuts on the pour. We'll leave a bit of room. Wow, that is jet black. That's your beer up close in a glass. You can see the lovely dark tan head on that. The roll is insane. It's going to have some body to it. So it looks amazing. Let's see what it smells like. Boozy. There's no two ways about it. It's a boozy beer. It's dark. It's woody. It's malted to within an inch of its life. There is just a beautiful, dark, complex malt. Like I say, with the booze, there is kind of a hint of berry. That's glorious. It's absolutely glorious. So it looks great. It smells even better. Let's see what it tastes like. Cheers. That's incredible. That is incredible. It's thick as two short planks. It's like drinking tar. There's no two ways around it. This is one of the thickest, if not the thickest beer I've ever had. Coats the mouth. The carbonation is heavily suppressed. And the flavour is incredible. It's big. It's bold. It is slightly boozy. Not as boozy as I was expecting, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. You're hit immediately by that woody character, and it just elevates the malts. They just sit and warm perfectly. The hops bring a little balance. They bring a little smoothness. They bring a little character just to add to the malts, and the whiskey notes. It's a perfect winter beer. It really is. Big, bold, thick, heavy, comforting, warming as it goes down. And behind it all, towards the back end, you get a lovely, bitter, almost dark chocolate malt come through. Really good. I'm just going to enjoy a moment. Yes. Incredible, incredible beer. Yeah. Incredible stuff. So, we're going to go to the scoreboard of joy and I think I know how this is going to go. It's currently void of anything, like so. So we're going to fill it in. Bear with me one moment. No, I've not got it to hand. We'll come to that in a moment. We've got the red pen of judgment, and we're gonna revisit the pour ever so slightly, and look at it. It's like engine oil. It's thick as two short planks, as I say. Heavy stuff. Look at it. Beautiful colour. Jet black. There's nothing coming through. Light cannot escape this beer. It's so dark. It epitomises what a good stout should look like, in my opinion. Dark tan head, beautiful black beer. It's having a full point. And the aroma is going to get a full point as well, because it's big, it's bold. It adds just a level of decadence to the experience. You get that whiskey, woody, malty, chocolatey nature right up front. It's a complex and interesting aroma. I want to sit and sniff it all day long. So I'm giving it a full point. As I say, the body is insane. It's out of this world. It's the heaviest. I'm going to go on record to say it's the heaviest beer I've ever had. It coats the mouth wonderfully. Its carbonation is suppressed. The whole thing, it's just pure decadence on the body. And yeah, it's having a full point. The taste, wonderful stuff. It is a regular run-of-the-mill imperial stout, but elevated. It has that woody character from the oak barrels. Whether or not they've cheated and just added oak staves or chips into the beer, I don't know. But if it's actually barrel aged, brilliant stuff. The whiskey notes, they're subtle, but they just add that extra layer of complexity. The dark chocolate and that beautiful malt. Wonderful stuff. Yeah, it's having a full point there. And the finish. I like my stouts to be malty, bitter, long, on the back end. And this is all of that, but it's just got that lovely whiskey note just sitting there, ever so subtle. Just bring that little something. You know what I mean when I say that. And it's having a full point, which means it's got a full 5 out of 5, which means we can go for the full bonus. We'll come to that at the end. Would I buy this one again? Absolutely. I have checked on House of Trembling Madness, which is where I got it from. They do have some left, but none of the Doris, which is a shame. Value for money, it was not a cheap beer. It was not a cheap beer in the slightest. I know you pay a premium for some of the American beers. The import costs must be insane, but it's worth it. I think it was about 13 quid a can, if memory serves. And yeah, it's worth every penny because it's big, it's decadent. It's not one you'd have very often, but yes, it's having a value for money because it's just quality throughout. And the bonus point, I reserve that for the very best of the beers. Those that hit 5 out of 5, is it better than the other 5 out of 5 beers? Is it the best Imperial Stout I've had this year? Yes, it simply is. It just epitomises what is great about a big, bold Imperial Stout. And yeah, as far as I'm concerned, it's fantastic. And it did win the World Beer Cup Gold Award in 2012 for the Wooden Barrel Aged Strong Stout. It says so right there on the can. See that? Yeah, award won under Barrel Aged Boris, the Crusher Oatmeal Imperial Stout. It's worthy of the award. And yeah, it's a fantastic beer. So just for completion, it's all the points today. Every single one of them. And it deserves them. It's a great beer. So if you like your stouts big, if you like them barrel aged in bourbon barrels, all the bees, then you need to try some Barrel Aged Boris. Hoppin Frog, as far as I'm concerned, can do no wrong, but you do need to get back into bed with Lervig and make some more Barrel Aged Sippin Into Darkness. That shit was the best beer that I've ever had. This is not far behind. There we go. And we're going to leave it there and say, that's been an incredible beer. I've been me. Those down there are the buttons. You know exactly what to do with them by now. You've got your like, comment, dislike, and subscribe. Choose any combination of them as you wish. And I will see you again soon for another one. Bye for now.